Okay, thanks for jumping in. Let's get started. Now that we're at a point in the series that we can talk about layouts, I just want to quickly touch on divs and what we've talked about with divs. And we've used divs in the past to kind of just iterate that we can use them to organize or group multiple elements. So it's a good way to group inline or block elements or elements within your page. Previous to HTML5, divs were used in kind of a non-semantic way. So I created this layout to kind of give you guys an idea of how divs were used to kind of structure a website. And you may find some old legacy sites or some sites out there that are still structured this way. It is, your best interest to use a more semantic approach. So if you're following best practices, I'll show you another approach that will fall in line with HTML5. We have like a div here and we gave it an ID of header. So this will represent our header. This will be where our navigation and other things in the header like logo, etc., branding will go in here. And then down here we have another div, and that div we gave it an ID of navigation. So this is where you'd create something like an unordered list that has all of your menu items, maybe some call to action, whatever you're trying to create here would be in the header. And then down here we have this like outer div, okay, and it spans like all the way to the bottom of this page. And what this does, or we're trying to represent, was this giant wrapper, this thing that would contain all of the other sections that are unique to the website or the page. So I think back in the day, you'll see something like this, like wrapper or some other name, content, or something along those lines. So within that div, we have another div here. And in this one, I wanted to create something like a banner. So I would call this, I give it an ID of banner. And within that banner, I'd have, my one H1 that would, be my main title, and then an image and so forth. And the wrapper is what we kind of use to hold content, like I said, once again. And down here, I'd have a section. And if you haven't guessed it, I'm trying to create a page that is like a blog page and has a bunch of articles. I would have this article section with the first subset of articles that I have. And then within that section, I have divs pertaining to where I'd like my articles to be. And note that within these divs, there could be other elements that I'm organizing, other things like span tags, images, you name it. And then down here, I have another div that I'd like to create, a parallax image, something that scrolls to kind of break up the monotony of this here. And I represent that with a div, and I could put an image here with some content or some text or paragraph or an H2 with another secondary message. So, and it goes on. And so we can do the same thing and lay out our page using divs. And at one point this was, the norm. And over here, this would be an aside section. So something that I could have on the side of this content to represent, some other secondary navigation or something, or something relating to this page. And then the very bottom, you could have a footer, and, I threw this one in here, but you wouldn't really need to isolate this, but I want to show you in the second part, which is the semantic layout, how you could do something like this. So this is the representation for a page we're going to lay out. And mind you, we won't apply all the styles, but I want to show you what the semantic and non-semantic versions of this page could be and how you should lay it out, because this stuff will help with a bunch of other things if you're developing within the guidelines and best practices of HTML markup. So let's have another look at the same layout, but a semantic way of doing that. And that's it for this one, guys. Don't forget to like the video if you found this useful. Leave your comments and thoughts below. Take care, and I will see you next time.